Fair warning ahead of time, this is going to be a little bit longer of a video, and it's going to deal with the relationships between husbands and wives and parents and children, and how people really get worked up over those subjects. First things first, this.
I didn't know you could anger the entire internet, but I have managed to do it.
She has too. And I'm not angered by her, but she has been getting hell. I'm going to show you the video, and we're going to come back and talk about it. Before you even start typing your opinion on the video, please wait to hear the response, my response, okay? Just before you even start typing, just listen to this video first.
I still can't believe this. My friend's kids are 7 and 5. Still to this day, since they have been born, my friend has not left her kids with anybody. Anybody to go on a vacation, to go on a date. She does not leave her kids. So I asked her, how do you and your husband go out of town together if you won't leave your kids? And she says, we don't. We take the kids with us. So in 7 years, she has not gone on a vacation alone with her husband, out of town, just for even a night, not even a single night. And that is a recipe for disaster. That is how you end up without a spouse in the next probably 5 to 10 years. Because there's only so much time that somebody can tolerate having the kids put before them. We have to focus on our marriage above our children. Our husbands, our spouses, they have to be before the kids, not after. Now, there is a small window where the baby is 3 months old and they require a lot of attention. That's when you guys are a team and you're both invested in the child. But as the kid gets older and more independent, you have to refocus. You have to rebalance. Your spouse has to be above the kids, because when your kids get older, you want your kids to come back to a 2-parent household to visit. You want your kids to bring their kids back to a 2-parent household so that you get to grandparent together. But if you hyper focus on your children now at the expense of your marriage, you're going to lose decades. You are going to lose decades with your kids because they don't want to come back to a house that is not happy. They do not want to spend Christmas at grandma's and then go spend Christmas at grandpa's. They want to come back to a parent, 2 parents together. So just focus on that and you're going to be golden. Golden. Love ya.
Hopefully you guys did not start typing your responses just quite yet. And if you did, erase them and let's talk and let's type your responses in a minute. Okay? First, my response. I don't necessarily disagree with her. I don't. There are instances where people can't afford to get away. The resources are not there. So if you're talking about a scenario like that, I totally understand. We can't get away. But when she talks about how her friend can get away and chooses to take the kids with them, there's obvious circumstantial evidence there to suggest that the friend is financially capable, the friend and her spouse are financially capable of getting away. They just choose to take the kids every time they get away. There's a question that gets asked of married people at some point in time, right? There's always this question that's been floating around forever. If your spouse or your child were drowning and you could only save one, who do you save? Right? That's the old test. It's supposed to be, who do you love more? There's somebody supposed to kind of, right? You don't really love your spouse, you go after your kid. You don't really love your kid, you go after your spouse. My answer is I'm going after my spouse. And I know I've got 4 kids that are going to see this TikTok and go, hey, whoa, but they all understand what I'm about ready to say. I love all of my kids. I want nothing but the best for all of my kids. I want to continue to do for my kids well into my old age when they're adults and they have kids of their own. But at some point in time, I'm going to raise my kids and then they're going to go off. They're going to go have their lives on their own. And what's going to be left here with me is the one who's my partner. See, I chose to spend the rest of my life with my partner. I chose to raise children to turn them into productive members of society and send them out into the world. My partner is who's here with me. That's who we chose to spend the rest of our life with. And if you don't focus on your partner at some point in time, it could It's not that it's going to cost you your marriage, but it could. She's not lying when she says that. From our standpoint, we do both, right? We take the kids on a vacation, and then we take a vacation by ourselves. When Renee and I go to Jamaica, it's to a sandals resort, no kids allowed. That is 10 days for us to get away. We just went on an Alaskan cruise. We did a cruise out of New Orleans. Those are ways for us to get away. Then we took the kids to Mexico for a week. We're looking at a cruise right now for next summer, a Caribbean cruise for us and the kids for next summer. But there's a mixture in our world. You take the kids on some trips, and you get away from the kids on some trips. But man, the internet is lighting this woman up. And once again, I get the people who are saying, hey, not everybody has the resources to get away from their kids and find somebody. Not everybody has the support system. Even if they had the financial resources, they might not have the system in place to have somebody to watch their kids. And I understand those things completely. But if you have the resources, if you do have the support system in place, in my opinion, she's not wrong. You need to focus on your family and your relationship. And listen, Renee and I have spent more than our fair share of time over the course of the last 28 years yelling and arguing and causing damage to our relationship, but also focusing on each other as best as we possibly can. We have 4 kids. 2 of them are completely out of the house. One of them is practically out of the house. She's a junior in college and spends most of her time at school in the dorms, not living here. And then we have a soon-to-be 14-year-old. They're all going to leave. They're going to have lives of their own. They're going to have families and partners and jobs and friends and hobbies of their own. And when that happens, it'll be me and my partner here going, all right, we did our job there. Now let's continue to enjoy our life together. And we recognize the finish line is not as far away as it once was. I'm 53, she's 50. We don't have as many years in front of us as we have behind. I'm not living to be 106. So yeah, we're trying to take those trips now while we can. Take the kids on a vacation. Take a vacation without the kids. Mix it up. Get away from time to time. And show the kids that there are going to be times when your parents are going to go do things and you're not going to be able to be part of that. You're not going to be able to enjoy free vacations to nice places well into your adulthood. At some point in time, that gets cut off. For us, it's when you're no longer living in the house. You can go on vacation with us. You can go on this cruise with us. But you got to pay your own way once you're living on your own. I can't keep paying for vacations for everybody going in perpetuity. But yeah, I don't think she's necessarily wrong here, guys. And I think that the people that are lighting her up are, in many cases, on the wrong side of this. She's not saying she doesn't love her kids. Not by any stretch of the imagination. She's focusing on what brought the whole thing together for the kids to even be able to exist. You don't want to neglect that. My mother had 2 husbands in the course of her life. My father had 3 wives in the course of his life. I cannot begin to tell you how good it feels to be sitting there at 53 years old and being in a 28-year relationship, knocking on the door of 3 decades together. Yeah, I'm not risking that for anything at this point in time.